Whenever you create an operation in MillMage, you'll need to define the specific parameters for that operation in the Operation Settings editor. If you create a new operation, this window will automatically open, and you can access it again at any time by double-clicking an operation in the Operations window. In this video, we'll cover two of the most common operations, Pocket and Profile. To learn more about the other operation types in MillMage and the settings you can configure, check out our documentation linked in the description. We previously created a few operations for our PressFit box, and we'll start by double-clicking on our profile operation to open the Operation Settings editor. The settings presented here vary depending on the type of operation you are viewing and editing. Click on Select Tool to open your tool library. Then navigate to your desired tool for the operation and double-click it, or single-click to highlight it and select OK to close out of the tool library. The Tool Setup section now displays your selected tool, and several relevant fields are automatically populated in the Operation Settings editor with the values saved in your tool library. You can leave those values be or adjust them for your specific project. Changes made in the Operation Settings editor will not impact or overwrite the values stored in the tool library. Next, we have Depths and Entry, where you'll see settings that determine how your router enters your material for each pass, and at what heights. Start depth is the depth at which the operation will begin carving or cutting, relative to the depth you set for your stock material in the Project Setup wizard. The default value is 0, and represents the top of your material. Any value greater tells your router to begin below the surface of your material. Final depth, also relative to the surface of your stock material, is the depth at which the operation will stop carving or cutting. These fields, like many of the fields in MillMage, accept equations, different units of measurement, and percentages. If you can't recall the height set for your material, entering 100% into this field is a quick way to grab that value. Depth per pass and ramp angle are both values pulled from your tool settings based on what you input in your tool library. Entry type controls the motion of your router as it lowers into your material. The options available for profile operations are zigzag ramp, plunge, and spiral. Zigzag and plunge both lower the router to the depth set in the depth per pass field as it begins carving. For spiral entries, the router is continually lowered in a spiral pattern for the duration of the operation. The best option to use will depend on your machine, the material you're using, and your desired output. Clearing pattern is the next section, and its settings define how material is removed during each pass. For cut direction, we have climb and conventional. With conventional milling, the router moves against the rotation of the spindle, while climb moves the router in the same direction as the spindle rotates. As you switch between the two options, the cut preview updates to show the two different cutting directions. The best option depends on your machine, material, and project, but if you're a beginner, staying with the default climb is usually a good choice. Side determines the path MillMage will command your router to travel during carving moves, relative to the original selected shapes in your project. A long line centers your tool on the line. Inside shifts the path your router travels by half the diameter of your tool towards the center of your vector graphics. And outside shifts the path by half the diameter of your tool out away from the outlines of your vector graphic. The pattern preview provides a visual aid that updates based on your current side selection. The pattern preview depicts the path in purple your router will travel on an example shape, relative to the original contour of the graphic, shown as a dotted line, as determined by your current side selection. The gray area indicates the overall width of the cut that will result. Notice that the gray area is entirely within the dotted line when you select inside, and entirely without when you select outside. In general, you'll want to shift the path in the direction of the material that you'll be discarding, which will result in the object you want to keep being true to the size you set it as in MillMage. For our press fit box, that means selecting outside. Stock to leave is the amount of material you want to be left behind for your given operation. The default value for this is 0, but this is really useful for times where you want to run a more aggressive roughing pass and then apply a finer cleanup pass to remove the remaining stock. For Toolpath, the options available are direct, trachoidal, and trachoidal half circle. Trachoidal milling is an extremely powerful milling technique that uses orbital motion while cutting, and provides benefits like less tool wear and cutting force, allowing for higher feed rates. With this selected, trachoidal diameter and step size values are customizable. However, this is an advanced feature, and when starting out, we recommend selecting direct. Feeds and speeds are all pulled from the values you set in your tool library when creating your tool. You can directly edit them here for the operation if necessary. As we noted in our video on tool library setup, the ideal feeds and speeds are highly dependent on your machine, tool, and material. If your CNC has a controllable coolant system or vacuum that you've configured under custom G-code in device settings, the toggles in this section enable or disable them for the operation. The last section is for tabs and bridges. Whenever you're cutting all the way through a material, you need tabs to hold your parts in place and ensure they don't shift and ruin your project or fly off completely. Click the toggle to enable tabs for your operation. Beneath this are settings to configure the tab type, size, and height. Tabs are a very important topic, and we'll cover the specifics of applying settings and placing tabs on your shapes in a later video. At the top of the window is a name field, where you can give your operation a unique title. This name is displayed in the operations window and is especially helpful in distinguishing different operations when running a project that has multiple operations of the same type. Output enables or disables the selected operation. You can adjust this value at any time directly from the operations window. We covered auto use layer in our previous video on operation assignment. With this option enabled, operations are assigned to all shapes on a chosen layer. Once you're happy with your settings, click OK to save and apply them to the operation, or cancel to close out of the window. Next, let's open up our first pocket operation and take a look at its settings. Many of the operations contain the same editable fields, so we'll focus on the ones that differ. In depths and entry, there are 2 step-over fields. These values are grabbed from the tool you select for the operation. Step over controls the distance between each path of your chosen clearing pattern. A larger step over leads to greater distance between each path, meaning more of the tool is engaged for each pass, and your router will complete the carving operation in fewer passes. A smaller step over leads to more passes, less stress on your tool, and a cleaner surface finish. You can set step over directly or as a percentage of your tool's diameter, but the final value can never exceed 50% of the diameter. For pocket operations, we also need to select a clearing pattern, either offset or raster. With offset, MillMage tells your router to carve concentric paths that follow the outline of the shapes assigned to the operation. For raster, paths consist of parallel lines that move back and forth within the outline of the shapes. The pattern preview updates as you switch between these modes to give you a quick visual confirmation of your current selection. If you choose raster, you have the option to enable an outline before or after each raster pass. When using raster, there may be visible steps or flattened edges around the perimeter of your pocket, and running an outline removes them. Another editable setting when running a pocket with raster is its angle. Set the angle value to change the direction in which the parallel lines of the operation are generated. I've populated the fields in this window with the settings I'll use, and click OK to confirm and close out of the window. The last thing I need to do is duplicate this pocket operation, so I can adjust the final depth for the outer lip of my lid and assign it to the necessary shapes. Now if we click on the preview option, we can see a simulation of the different operations we have applied and enabled for our project. In our next video, we'll cover the process for adding tabs to our project and the different options we have for customizing them. Be sure to check out our documentation to learn more about the Operation Settings Editor, and subscribe for more great videos on mastering MillMage.